What's up, everybody? We're going to delve right into the very next part of this legend of King Arthur, and keep it moving. Um, this is a tapestry that says it's showing of Arthur as one of the nine worthies wearing a coat of arms, often attributed to him. 1385. So this is a depiction of Arthur in 1385. So obviously it's not a genuine reflection, but this is how they perceived him by this supposed date. Okay. All right. Let's get it a little bit bigger for y'all. You keep want to go down inside, baby. Where are y'all? Oh, you playing me? You playing me? Oh man, don't want to do it right. Don't want to do it right. All right, let's do it this way. There we go. All right, now let's check out what's going on. So this is what this dude is looking like. And I bring this up. I want you guys to notice the artwork, the not the style, quality. And this is supposed to be on some tapestry, right? So just check that out. Mr. King Arthur. This is how they depicted him uh, in 13. What did they say? 1385? All right. So, in any case, so we were talking about Mr. King Arthur here. 1385, yeah. All right. Something's off. I know it's off. I ain't got the flute playing. Hold on, hold on. Where my flute? My flute stopped playing. Oh man, don't tell me that. Oh, I must have closed it out. All right, we'll just rock with it. All right, so let's see here. Now we were getting down here when I stopped reading, basically. All right, so let's pick up here. Now, 12th century French writer Christian de Troyes. I mean, the irony in this dude's name in the 12th century. I mean, his name is Christian. Okay. Who added Lancelot and the Holy Grail to the story, began the genre of Arthurian romance that became a significant strand of medieval literature. In these French stories, the narrative often shifts from King Arthur to other characters such as the Knights of the Round Table. Arthurian literature thrived during the Middle Ages but waned in the centuries that followed until it experienced a major resurgence in the 19th century, 1800s. In the 21st century, let's see here, the legend lives on, not only in literature but also in adaptations for theater, film, television, comics, and other media. All right, so let's get into this here. All right, debated historicity. All right, let's see here. The historic. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the main article. Let's do that instead. Let's go to the main article. Yeah, there we go. Let's get right down to it. All right. The historical basis for Arthur is a source of considerable debate among historians due to the poverty of British records in the period 400 to 550 CE, which we all know still AD, common era. Alrighty, you should learn that by now. Historian Thomas Charles Edwards noted that at this stage of the inquiry, one can only say that there may have well been a historical author, but the historian as as yet say nothing of value about him. Historian David Dumville summed up his position by saying, I think we can dispose of him, Arthur, quite briefly. He owes his place in our history books to a no smoke without fire school of thought. The fact of the matter is that there is no historical evidence about Arthur. We must reject him from our histories and, above all, from the titles of our books. So, I find that kind of wild, right? I mean, give an author like the Negro treatment. I mean, this is what it is, right? All right, so let's sorry about that. Let's continue. All right, some have suggested that the author was a mythological or folk folklore figure. The other mythological figures also may have become historicized. One suggestion is that Hengist and Horsa were originally Kentish Ptolemaic horse gods, ascribed historical role by Bede or Bede. There is, however, no more early trace of this fictional author than there is of a historical one. Now, I have to go back because I'm having a scratch my head moment. Kentish, Kingdom of Kent, right? I was just thinking something I remember coming across in Brother King Drop video when he was doing his word digging. And I don't know. I'll go back. Stay focused. All right. It might seem like my data is always short, and I want to get as much information as possible. All right. Sorry about that. Get y'all straight. All right. Author appears in a historical context as a British soldier, Miles in the original Latin, fighting alongside British kings against the invading Saxons. In a Latin text of the 9th century, all right, the 800s, more than 3 centuries after his supposed floret in the 5th and 6th century sub-Roman Britain. The legendary king of of the matter of Britain develops from the 12th century, the 1100s, after Geoffrey of Monmouth's influence, Historia Regum Britanniae. Alrighty, so now is Geoffrey Monmouth, you know, presenting the hijack, basically, or is he dropping truth and those that question his original work to bringing it all together because they said it was completed, okay, in the 12th century. Remember that it wasn't done until the 12th century. So if Geoffrey of Monmouth, is he trying to bring 100? So it's just something to think about. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's go through. All right, the name author. Go back to the main article. Author. All right, etymology of his Welsh names. Do I want to go back here? Because this is going to go back. This cycles back to just where we came from. Oh, no. There we go. Alrighty. So basically, it goes through a lot of the similar information. All right, and is arguing about if he existed at all. Let's pick up right here. Partly in reaction to such theories, another school of thought emerged which argued that author had no historical existence at all. Moore's Age of Author prompted the archaeologist Noel Miles to observe that no figure on the borderline of history and mythology has wasted more of the historian's time. Isn't that funny? All right. All right. And Gildas, 6th century Ptolemaic de Exedio et Conquestu Britanniae on the ruin and conquest of Britain, written within living memory of Badon, mentions the battle does not mention Arthur at all. Arthur is not mentioned in Anglo-Saxon chronicles or in any surviving manuscripts between 400 through 820. Okay, he is absent from Bede's early 800th century ecclesiastical history of English people, another major earlier source for post-Roman history that mentions Badon. Now we just can remember we just hit up that we come to find out, man, a lot of this Roman history and stuff is made up. All right, so the historian David Doomville, which we just read, had written. I think that's what we just read. All right, so let's scroll down. Now, some argue that Arthur was originally a fictional hero of folklore, or even a half-forgotten Celtic deity who became credited with real deeds in the distant past. They cite parallels with figures such as the Kentish Hengist and Horsa, who may be Ptolemaic horse gods that later became historized. Uh, that later became historized. Bede ascribed to these legendary figures the historical role of the 15th century Anglo-Saxon conquest of Eastern Britain. Okay, it is not even certain that author was considered a king in the early context. Neither the Historica nor the Annals call him Rex. The former calls him instead Dux. Okay, Belorm, leader of battles, and Miles, a soldier. Okay, again, he was a great warrior. Alrighty, historical. Now, let me bring this up. Now, when you get into it, they get into author's name, and breaks it down, and that's what we're about to get into. And how, and we've been getting in, stepping into, such things such as, these crests, these banners, and things that, like my family name, my family crest, right? Let me pull it up real quick. All right, let's see here. And I got this picture here, man. They said this picture is supposed to go back to like 900s or something, but I don't know, 920 if I remember right. But y'all do some, y'all find out for me, leave me a link or something. But I don't know, just the quality of work. I doubt it goes back that far. But what's the origin on this pic? This is supposed to be the Queen of Sheba. All right, got that pic, and got that pic. Yeah, this is another one. Supposed to be Abyssinian warriors. Where is it? I brought this up. This is the pic of my thumbnail that I got for the when I was reading Esther. As far as the Hebrews being in the uh, during the Persian during the time Babylonian captivity, or during that time period. Um, and so I found this image relating to that. That's why that says my thumbnail. Always fair use. Search for Press John on your ass. Alrighty. Obviously, the one in color really is. I like the black and white and get more details, but the one in color is beautiful too. Montezuma, King Montezuma. You know, uh, Queen Khalifa. All right. Ah, here we go. Crest. Yeah, we're starting to get into these crests, man, and stuff like that. And what these X's mean, and my family, my name, my what they call it, my motto for my crest, man, it goes back for my surname is Pacopia, peace and plenty. I thought that was kind of cool. So, in any case, we're getting into these crests to represent who, what family and stuff you're going through, that you're a part of. Well, I bring that up because when they get into the name, they think that it means bear. Um, but yet, we know that Isus represents what? Isus represents the pig. So, swine. So, the boar, the wild boar, the Sus. So, when it comes down to battle standards, you would have the bear. They would say, and the bear battled the boar, the wild boar, and they'll give the bear a name, and then they'll give the boar a name, and in this case, this bear's name is Author. It's translated to King Author. But we also know that when we do other research, that sometimes that these names of kings, is actually representative just of a people. They are the kings are incarnate of the people, of a people. So, in any case, getting into the names here. Um, let's see here. The origin of the Welsh name Author remains a matter of debate as well. Okay, some suggest it derives from the Roman nomen Gentile family name Artorius, of obscure and contested etymology, but possibly Messapian or Etruscan origin. Some scholars have suggested it is relevant to this debate that the legendary author's name only appears as author or Arturus in early Latin Arthurian texts, never as Artorius. Although it should be noted that classical Latin Artorius became Arturius in some vulgar Latin dialects. And remember, vulgar is what? Common dialect. Okay, that's all vulgar means. You see, however, this may not say anything about the origin of the name author, as Arturius would regularly become R or when borrowed into Welsh. Another possibility is that it is derived from the Britannic patronym, excuse me. Well, patronym, arto rig eos, the root which bear king, is to be found in Old Irish name of art re via a Latinized form artorios. Less likely is the common proposed derivation from the Welsh arth bear plus guar man, early artorial reros, excuse me, in Britannic. There are phonological difficulties with this theory, notably that Britain compound name Arto Urios should produce Old Welsh Argor in Middle Modern Welsh Author and not author. In Welsh poetry, the name is always spelled author and is exclusively rhymed with words ending in UR, never words ending with WUR, which confirms that the second element cannot be GWUR, meaning man. Okay. Alternatively, an alternative theory, which has gained only limited acceptance among professional scholars, derives the name author from Arcturus, the brightest star in the constellation of Boötes, near Ursa Major, or the Great Bear. Classical Latin Arcturus would have become Auth or when borrowed into Welsh, and its brightness and position in the sky led people to regard it as the guardian of the bear, which is the meaning of the name in ancient Greek, and the leader of the other stars in Boötes. Okay, the first name, a similar first name in Old Irish Autur, which is believed to be derived directly from earlier Old Welsh or Cumbric Autur. The earliest historical attested bearer of the name is the son or grandson of Aidan Mac the Brain in AD of 609. Okay, so wow, this cat. Check him out. Let's open this up. I'm read about to do later. Open a new link. All right, cool beans. Now, if I'm not mistaken, they're talking about Ursa Major. That's the Big Dipper. Okay. Um, you know. So here's my question: was this dude known guardian of the? Was his name the same as King Guardian of the Bear? Right. I mean, just putting something out there. I mean, this dude is known from all these magical beasts, and we come to find out a lot of these magical beasts, is here in America. Just saying. Um, it's just a question I put out there. Let's see here. Don't really want to. Let's check him out. Who is this dude? I'm just riding a wave at this point, as my brother King would say. I never looked at this link, so I have no idea what we're going to run into. All right, let's see here. Was King Dal Rayat from 574 till 609. The kingdom of Dal Rayat was situated in modern Agro and Bute, Scotland, and part country Antrim, Ireland. King has recorded that Aidan was son of Gabran Mac Damagart. He was contemporary with Saint Columba. Wow. Alrighty. And that much is recorded. His life and career comes from the hagiography, such as Adamon of Iona, Life of Saint Columba, Aidan appears as a character in Old Irish and Middle Irish language works and prose verses, and now some lost. Irish Annal record records Aidan campaigns against his neighbours in Ireland and northern Britain, including expeditions to the Orkney Islands, the Isle of Man, and the east coast of Scotland. As recorded by Bede, Aidan was decisively defeated by Eth, Ethelfrith of Bernicia at the Battle of Dagestan. Aidan may have been disposed or have been abdicated following this defeat. His date of death is recorded by one source as 17th of April, 609. Okay. All right. Let's see. Sorry, y'all. I just took a sideways. Let's take a look. I've not looked at this. I have not read any of this, but y'all come across something that may be more. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. The Picts. The Picts. Now we're talking about the Picts. See, ride the wave. All right. Check that out. All right. Let's go back. King Arthur. Maybe. I know we know about the Picts, right? Do we know about the Picts? All right. So take this legend a little bit more serious. Any case, now he is the one that bears the name Arthur. So might be this dude. All right. Let's see here. The creator of the family literary persona of Arthur was okay. Here we go. Yeah, traditions. All right, medieval literary traditions. The creator of the familiar literary persona of Arthur was Geoffrey of Monmouth, with his pseudo-historical Historia Regum Britanniae, History of the Kings of Britain, written in the 1130s. The textual sources for Arthur are usually divided into those written before Geoffrey's Historia, known as the pre-Galfridian text, from the Latin form of Geoffrey, Galfridus, excuse me, and those written afterwards, which could not avoid his influence, Galfridian or post-Galfridian texts. The pre-Galfridian texts. All right, let's see here. The pre-Galfridian texts. The earliest literary reference to Arthur comes from Welsh and Breton sources. There have been few attempts to define the nature and the character of Arthur in the pre-Galfridian tradition as a whole, rather than a single text or text story type. 2007 academic survey that does attempt this by Thomas Green identified three key strands to the portrayal of Arthur in the earliest material. The first was that he was a peerless warrior who functioned as a monster hunting protector of Britain from all internal and external threats. Some of these are human threats, such as the Saxon he fights in the Historia of Britannum, but the majority are supernatural, including giant cat monsters, look at this, destructive divine boars. Right? Remember, this is a legend, but what is this legend trying to tell you the story? Remember, the easiest way to tell somebody, especially in these dark ages, okay, or under any tyranny, basically, is that you convey a story through you convey truth through story so that you don't draw the attention. Now, remember, this is a time period where writing is, forbidden, for the most part, or is not under the watchful eye of the Pope. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's kind of we need to keep that in perspective as far as these divine boars, but his name means the Bear King. You know what I'm saying? Just a little something, something. Come back to that, obviously. Alrighty. Let's see here. Divine boars, dragons, dog heads, giants, and witches. Alrighty. The second is that the pre-Galfridian author was a figure of folklore, particularly topographic or onomastic folklore, and localized magical wonder tales, the leader of a band of superhuman heroes who live in the wild of the landscape. Now, I want y'all to grasp that because if you go a little bit deeper, you're gonna find something. We're gonna come across something that's kind of unique. Um, I don't know if it's simply a Western thought. Let me put it that way. But there's always this group of men, okay, that stands up against the pantheon of gods. Um, and the biggest temptation of this group of men that stand up to the pantheon of the gods is becoming like the gods themselves and ruling with an iron fist. An example of this would be um, in DC Comics, where you have the Justice League becomes the Justice Lords in a different reality. Um, you know, Things of that nature, or they actually become the incarnates of the god, of the Pantheon themselves. Another dangerous route to roll. But in any case, um, but apparently that's not. This must be an old. It's not. It's an old thought. Actually, it's not a new idea. Um, that line of thinking, and we'll get a little bit more into it. But it seems as if, or at least let me put it this way, in these legends, you're gonna come across. There's always this group of superheroes. Real talk stuff, you know. And is that still true to this day? Well, we've just read a few minutes ago that the Arthurian legend is still alive to this day. So, in this frequency, these other legends still must be true and show themselves. And I think we still see that in the cartoons and stuff like that, because that's what did George Lucas say, that modern myth telling. They these people seem to have an affinity to tell more truth in their fiction than in reality. That forked tongue stuff. Any case, um, that's what Brother Hiram talking about. The gospel means good spell. This one works, y'all. This one works. All right. Any case, let's see here. Divine boars, dragons, dog-heads, giants, and witches. The second is that the freak out graffiti author was a figure of folklore. Yeah, we just read that. Okay. And localized magical wonder tale leaders, band superheroes who live in the wild landscape.